Well, the ANC will be launching its election manifesto in Durban tomorrow. The party's leaders have been embarking on door-to-door visits in the region. Let's get some idea of what will be addressed, what we'll hear at the manifesto tomorrow. Joining us from Durban is ANC NEC member Mamoloko Ngubane, also a minister. Minister, good morning. Thank you so much for your time. We hear there that the IEC is ready. Is the ANC ready?
Good morning and good morning to your viewers. Indeed, the ANC is ready for tomorrow, but also we've really geared up and ready for the elections.
Tell us about the campaigns. I mean, it came as it was a big talking point and coming in for lots of analysis and criticism as well. That President Cyril Ramaphosa going around with the former President Jacob Zuma in KwaZulu-Natal. How has that been received by your support base there in KZN?
The campaign has been going very well. I've been deployed in eThekwini region since Monday as an NEC member doing door-to-door. Going into the houses, the mood is positive. People love the ANC in this. It's a home of the ANC. Being with the president is a sign, being with the president and former president together. I think for us, it's a sign of what we are putting in action. Unity in action, not only about talking it. You would understand that previously there have been difficulties in KZN where people have been split between either those who supported President Ramaphosa and those who supported former President Zuma. So with them together, leading by example and showing that while we might have or we might have had differences in preferences going towards conference, but when we come out of conference, we have one leadership, and that's why President Zuma was calling President Ramaphosa my president. So I've been in an event on Tuesday where he stood and called him, this is my president. So it's a sign of leadership, it's a sign of the character and the nature of what ANC is about, and we've seen it from them showing us as leaders of the ANC, but also as members within KwaZulu-Natal. Going into the houses, members of the ANC are excited about President Ramaphosa coming to KZN. They're excited, even looking forward to listening to him tomorrow.
Now, while we know that you are trying to promote unity, especially in KZN, where there seem to have been some cracks there, Minister, what would you say to critics who say that this show of unity is merely just that? It's just a show. It's just a papering over of the cracks for election purposes, that this is really not a genuine partnership?
I think it's people who don't understand how ANC work. And I always say, take time to understand and look backwards. Look at what has happened previously in the ANC, if the trends are the same. I mean, we are fortunate to have former President Jacob Zuma joining the campaign trail. And we've had people complaining, why is President Thabo Mbeki not joining? Now, you can't always say when others are not joining the campaign, you complain. When others join the campaign, we complain. It will be like we don't know what we want.
Well, just
we must be excited by the partnership.
Just given the controversy that has surrounded President Jacob Zuma, the anger that he has brought out in many South Africans, with questions still hanging over many issues around him, you also want to build trust. And do you feel that as you go around, or as you have been around, going door to door on this campaign, that the trust that many might have lost in the ANC and how it has handled issues around the former president, that you are rebuilding that trust, or that you still have a lot of work to do?
Look, let me tell you what I've experienced. I've been to the houses, I've been to Umlazi, I've been to Chatsworth yesterday, I've been to Pinetown. So since being here, going into door-to-door, what many South Africans are worried about is the jobs. What they are worried about is services to them. I mean, I've experienced people, mainly, this is what we get when we go to the houses. Majority of South Africans are not even worried about the leadership. They are saying, ANC, you are a party that we have voted for in power. And this is what we expect from you. We have a new challenge right now, and this is what I picked up when I was doing door-to-door, that people were saying, you built houses for us in 1994, 1995, during that first time we built RDPs. And some of them are saying to us, those RDPs are collapsing. We need you to help us. But many of them are saying, please help us get jobs for our children so that they can help us to look after us, so that we don't have to depend on government and come and look for grants, come and look for housing, so that we can build our own houses, give us our dignity. This is the major message that I'm carrying as an NEC member from the voters in eThekwini region.
So how much of that will we actually hear come this weekend and come the manifesto launch? How much of that will be realistic in that manifesto and not just for the sake of electioneering, that people will be able to believe what we're told this coming weekend?
What is coming out, obviously, we will go into one thing I think we must appreciate about the African National Congress. We are an organization that is transparent in terms of being able to say, this is what we have been able to achieve, this is what we have not been able to achieve, and this is what we are promising going forward. Over the years, when you look at our manifesto processes, we've gone out and we've really matured, because previously we used to do our manifesto on our own. Now we've gone and consulted and said, tell us, because in those sessions, that's where people gave us feedback to say, this is where you faltered. You did the manifesto alone. You never focused on consulting us and including us. And that's why we call this one the People's Manifesto, because we have consulted various sectors. We've consulted various people to say, input into a manifesto. It doesn't matter whether you are a member of the ANC or not. We've said to them, because we will be a government for everybody, want you to contribute in what becomes the document that will be a program of action for government. We are cognizant that there are things that we have not been able to achieve, and we take stock to that. But equally, we are saying to South Africans, please recognize where we've done well. There are areas, for example, in electricity we've done well. We took this country in 1994 as the African National Congress, where services were only for the minority, were reserved for few people. I mean, I come and I grew up in Soweto. Before 1994, many can attest, and just immediately after 1994, that when you drove into Soweto, you'd find a large cloud hanging in the evenings, because people who were burning fire, in terms of coal, to warm their houses, to cook, and that caused pollution in the air. It was quite dusty in Soweto. But today, when you walk into Soweto, when you drive into Soweto, the sky is clear because electricity is there. The sky is clear because the roads have been tarred and you do not have dust. And we acknowledge that there are other areas that we need to make sure that they look like Soweto. There are many areas that we must make sure that they have access to housing, they have access to electricity. And that's why we are acknowledging that there are areas where we've done very well, there are areas that we have not done very well. And that is a point you will hear from the president even on Saturday.
All right, and despite all of this, though, there have been some polls that have been run already. Analysts have been just taking a look at just what's been happening with the ANC over the past couple of months, as post Jacob Zuma as well. And there seems to be a feeling out there. There seems to be even those polls reflecting that the ANC may come close to that 50%, may even fall below that 50% of the vote in elections. Do you think, Minister, that what you're going to tell South Africans this weekend is going to help you keep it above that 50%? Is it going to be enough to help you go above 50 in this election?
There are various polls that have come through. Last week, another one came out and put us above 60%. So it depends which one you look at. But what we are saying from ANC, we are not complacent. We are going to work hard to earn the trust and the belief from South Africans. We believe that we have to work hard. We are not going to say we deserve to be voted. We are going to work hard and convince South Africans that we remain the only party relevant, the only party that still has the interest of majority, not minority groups in South Africa, but majority. We are a party that stands for non-sexism. We are a party that stands for non-racial character. We are a party that has an interest interest of a democratic South Africa that is prosperous for all. And that's the message we are carrying to this election. And we will be continuing with our door-to-door, house-to-house, meeting individuals, meeting sectors, to be able to pass our message, to tell them what our manifesto. From tomorrow, after the manifesto has been launched, we will be going to the voters and say, this is what we are committing. And we believe out of that, many South Africans will continue to give the African National Congress a mandate in coming the 2019. The new dawn that the president is leading has given hope to many South Africans. The new dawn is saying to us, yes, we have acknowledged our past mistakes. We might not have done things in the manner that South Africans have expected us to do. Yes, we have heard your message in complaining about corruption, and definitely we are fixing the system. We have made sure through the president since last year that the justice system gets back on track with appointments which are very critical, and that is part of the message that we are creating. We are not only talking, but we are acting.
Thanks very much for your time. The ANC NEC member Mamuloko Ngubane in our Durban studio for us. It is